Hey, this is the November 2023 housing report for Southeast Michigan. We're going to talk about where the market is and just where things are headed. So, in the last quarter, really, of this year, and most recently, we've seen a shift towards cash transactions. Uh, People don't want to finance the houses with the interest rates where they are, and while people believe that the interest rates are higher in the scheme of things, they're really just where they were before the pandemic. Uh, they did jump up to like 8%, and now we're seeing interest rates under 7% again. So as things change and the economy keeps sorting itself out, we'll see interest rates kind of stay where they are, possibly go down. The Fed just announced that they were going to make some Fed rate cuts, and that could trickle down to mortgages. For the meantime, people are paying cash to buy houses. They're taking money out of retirement funds. They're borrowing against wills, which is rare, but it happens. And then people are also selling their house so they can buy the next one. Now, even if people aren't paying with cash, which is a big portion of our sales right now, there's still a ton of people buying with. Um, when you're trying to compete against those cash offers, there's a lot that you can do as a buyer. You can offer cash guarantees, which is if the house doesn't appraise for what you're offering, you're willing to bring extra money to the closing table to make up the difference. And to most sellers, that's just as good as cash if you're willing to make up a big portion or the full difference. We're not seeing a lot of appraisal issues. There are always appraisal issues where we overprice the house or the market dictates that the house is worth more than what an appraiser is going to think. So there's ways to work through that. I've done all of it, and I can with some confidence say that um, people who are financing are not losing out on houses at an alarming rate. There's just more cash transactions than there were before, and they're actually not from investors trying to buy up houses because sale prices are still very high, and we'll get to that in a bit. And so these cash sales, they're coming from people who need to live in these houses. They're not coming from giant corporations trying to buy up single family houses. That was a trend maybe a year or two ago, and now the cash transactions we're seeing are owner occupants. We're going to look at Southeast Michigan as a whole. We're even, dead, 0% increase, 0% loss this time last year. We are seeing right here a 4% drop in average sale price from last month, and that's typical of the market and how things move in the colder months. We're seeing a more cyclical market, and this is just more normal. We've had these crazy few years come the pandemic, and so things haven't really panned out the way they used to, and we're getting back to that normalcy. So that's not alarming at all. Oakland County, there's 4% growth year over year. So this time last year, we are up 4% in the average price ranges. We're down 4% from last month, which is right on mark from what we see in the rest of Southeast Michigan. So none of these numbers are alarming to see all these down lines. That's just the market in the winter months. And we have a lot of pent up demand, and with potentially lower interest rates coming our way, and with the decrease in interest rates we've already seen, I have a feeling that the spring is going to show some of those green arrows going up. We can also look at Royal Oak down here. Royal Oak's another good market that we like to focus on. We're up 8% this time last year. It's a in-demand area. It's a hot spot. There's a lot of new construction. There's a lot of smaller bungalow houses that sell. So we're seeing Royal Oak do quite well, and they're actually up 7% from last month. That is also an inventory thing. There are more houses in certain areas getting listed than others. Royal Oak's one of those areas where more and more listings hit the market, and so you're going to see prices go up because it's such an in-demand area. And again, people who are selling houses are also buying houses, and people who are selling in Royal Oak tend to buy in Royal Oak, or they're upgrading to other areas where you might get more house for your dollar. Uh, we're going to scroll down to Macomb County. Macomb County is another big market. Average sale prices are a little bit lower. However, we are still up 3% over year. So this time last year, our average sale prices are 3% higher. There's a bigger drop from last month to this month. And again, that is cyclical. That is just how the market moves in the winter. So my experience is a lot of the homes in Macomb County, they're bigger houses, and in some areas like Shelby Township, Clinton Township, and people are selling and moving to others. Most of those homes might not be as updated as some of the other markets like Royal Oak, Birmingham. And so those homes that aren't super move-in ready, they don't sell for as much. And that's why we might see a bigger price drop in Macomb County. We'll dive down to Sterling Heights, where I live. We're 1% up year, and we're dead even from October to November. So that's where we are in the market. We're seeing great growth year. I predict we'll probably see a little bit of growth year next time we do this in 2024 of November. And even when I come back and do a December and a January, I would imagine the month over month is going to be lower. But I do believe that year we're still going to have these big, growth and spikes, with the exception of Royal Oak being such a big jump from even last month to this month and year. I still think that our markets are doing great. I don't see anything leading me to believe that we'll have a crash, and there's nothing that shows me that interest rates are ever going to be at 2.83% in the near future. The interest rates are where they are. The market is where it is. If you need to move. If you need to sell. The rental market is actually going down as well. So if you are renting and you're not ready to buy, I don't anticipate you'll see any sharp jumps in your rent prices either. If you have any questions or want to discuss this anymore, let me know. Thank you.